In previous video we made this min form and marked it with major points. Now we'll trace it into a larger piece of paper. The heel height in this case is 38 millimeters. So now I'm marking 38 millimeters at the line which is perpendicular to the horizontal line. 38 millimeters is here. That will be point S of my min form. So I place point S here and touch point X on the horizontal line. So point X is on my horizontal line and point S is on my vertical line at 38 millimeters, which is my heel. I'm tracing the min form. And marking the points with an awl. And connecting the points. Now I will draw a line parallel to XS through point I. Point P is located on a line parallel to XS at a distance of 1/2 of IS. This is point P. Let's mark point B at the bottom of the heel. And now we'll have line BX, which is our ground, and drawing line perpendicular to BX through point P. So we go down from the point P to the bottom of the last and measure boot height. In this case it's 13 inches. So 13 inches we find point T. T is the top of the boot. At point T we'll draw perpendicular to line TP. We'll take measured cuff perimeter and divide it by 4. In this case the cuff is 39 centimeters, so each quarter is 9.75 centimeters, so I have 9.75 here and 9.75 there, and that makes points D and D1. To get the front line, we'll measure about 6 millimeters from point I toward P and connect it to D, to point D. Next line should be parallel to XB and going through point P. So I would use 2 triangles . And that will be my point H. And point H1 is located on line HP, which is parallel to XB, and H to H1 is 1.9 centimeters shorter than IS. Another parallel line will go 4.1 centimeters above line HH1. To find the location of point A1, we'll take IS minus 6 mm from H, and that will make our pass line. A line that connects points D1, A1 and H1 makes a backside of the boot shaft, and that basically finishes our drawing for English riding boot as per Brooks' method. However, for cowboy boots, that drawing has to be adjusted. First, we will add hard counter, starting at CP. I will add 1.5 centimeters lasting allowance. We'll also straighten front part of the last, starting from point J. And we'll add a curve between points I and H. If we measure distance at point P to the back and to the front of our boot, you can see that front part and back part are not symmetric. It is possible to make boot like that. However, that means that central seam is slightly moved backward in this area, and because of that we will have hard time of sewing front and back parts of the shaft together. It's preferable to make them more symmetric. Two last lines would be top and bottom of the shaft. So at the top we can keep it straight, we can make a deep scallop starting from point T down, or we can start from point D and go up. At the bottom of the shaft we are starting at point A or lower than point A, drawing the seam connection between shaft and vamp. It will continue on line CPJ, and at the back will be connection between shaft and countertop. Now, as a designer you can do whatever you want in this area and that area. However, there is one important point, line IS. So line IS has to cross your seam approximately in this area. You will see later why it's important, but that's the point that has to be considered. So your seam between shaft and vamp has to cross line IS. You cannot keep it higher. This photo shows the complete drawing of a cowboy boot. In the next video I will use this drawing to make templates for the front and back halves of the shaft, counter and vamp.